do that first. Is that a phone call or are they supposed to be dialing in?
No, you're gonna call the prison.
Oh, okay. All right, let me let all of our lawyers in. It's Rebecca, Ivan, Mike, Matt, Ken. Okay, I'm going to call Tabor first. Shannon, go ahead and put us on. I've got to make a prison call to Mr.
Wait a minute. I am
It's
so
not till 10
sorry.
o'clock.
This is not, yes, this is not until 10 o'clock. That is so my bad.
I'm not going to be calling Tabor.
That is so my bad.
Shannon.
I know,
Shannon.
guys, my bad, man. I got him out here though,
Shan-
right?
Shannon is human.
I'm so sorry, Judge.
No problem. Okay. We conducted pretrial in chambers on the Holler Jackson minor. We've got a jury trial scheduled for Dad in October, and who knows whether we'll be able to do a jury trial then or not, but that's the earliest possible. And we have a mom's bench trial in 2 weeks, and it looks like that trial is going to go forward. So we'll see you all back here for that. I don't think I've got either parent here, so I don't need to worry about letting them in to let them know that. Okay, next, Rudloff. And I see Ms. Blair is present. Let me get her in the room. I don't know. I've got 2 iPhones. I'm going to check and see who they are to see if it's either parent.
I can give you mom's cell phone number, Judge, if you want to look for that. It's 240-2928.
Hold on just a second.
Oh, sure.
Hold on with that. Let me see who's at the other end of this iPhone.
Sure.
I just let an iPhone into the hearing. Can you tell me your name, please? Does anybody recognize that man?
Yes, that's Brandon Rudloff.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put his name on here, so I know that. Okay, and let's see. I had one other iPhone. Let me see if that's mom. Mr. Rudloff, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, it started. That other iPhone has disappeared, so I don't know who that is. Go ahead with your client's phone number, Rebecca.
It is 517-240-2928. At least that's one I have.
240-2928.
Correct.
And what's her name?
It is Carissa Kahini. I butcher that last name every time. Keahey.
Okay. Let me see if I can reach her this way.
Hello.
Is this Carissa Kahey?
This is.
Good morning. This is Judge LaFlamme, and we are on the record now in the matter of your children, Kaylin and Bryson. Mr.
Okay.
Mr. Rudloff is.
I tried to get into the Zoom.
I saw there was another iPhone there. I tried to let you in, and then it disappeared.
Yeah, I don't. It kept kicking me off, so I just had to.
That's all right.
cancel that.
That's all right.
All right.
We'll just keep you on by phone. Mr. Rudloff is present by Zoom. Could I have everyone else identify themselves for the record?
Matt Way, Prosecutor's Office.
Jade Blair, DHHS.
Rebecca
Mike
McCluskey
Kelly
for
on
mom,
behalf of the
Carissa.
father. Sorry, Mike Kelly on behalf of the father.
Okay, so this matter is scheduled for trial in 2 weeks at 8:30. We will proceed on that basis. Obviously, if there's going to be a plea entered, let Mr. Way know so he doesn't have to call in his witnesses. Anything else the court needs to address on the record with this today?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Have a good day. Mr. Rudloff, that concludes our hearing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and our last pretrial is for Christian Gibson. Let me see if I got any other parents out there. Oops, we lost Mr. Hotchkiss. Get him back in. I don't see any other parents in here. Could I have each of you identify yourselves?
Matt Way,
For the record.
Prosecutor's Office.
Jade Blair, DHHS.
Mike
Ivan
Kelly on
Brown.
behalf of the mother. Sorry, Ivan.
Well, I'm sorry, Mike, I was waiting for you, but Ivan Brown on behalf of Shane Gibson, father.
And Rebecca McCluskey, guardian ad litem.
Okay, based on our conversation in chambers, it looks like we've got a likely plea from mom and possibly a short trial with dad. What's the father's name? Oh, here it is, Shane Gibson. I don't see him in the waiting room, Mr. Brown. I know you wanted to talk to him.
I will call him.
Well,
I will call him.
Okay. I've got someone in there by the name of Traver. Anybody, any idea who that is?
That's probably Nicole.
That's who?
A worker, Nicole Traver.
Oh, okay. And then Jason Cooper and Nicole Armstrong.
That's our
That would be Cooper Miners, okay. It is 9 o'clock, so I guess we can move on to that one. Anything else we need to address with Gibson this morning?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Way.
Yes.
On our 10 o'clock, I'm the guardian on Steve Jackson Moore. I only received one page of the petition, but I'm really at a loss. I don't really know specifically what the allegations are. I'm wondering if you could email that to me before 10 o'clock so I could review it.
I'll email it to you right now.
Okay, thank you.
Ivan, I didn't email that to you?
You did, but one page was missing. I don't know whether I didn't print all of it or,
Oh, okay, my bad.
no, it might be my bad.
It's usually never your bad.
You know, I admit
Okay,
wrong as much as anybody.
all right, next up is Liam and Lana Cooper.
The parents are together.
Okay. So we're waiting for an audio connection there. It looks like they left the room. Here we go. As soon as we have an audio connection with them, I'll have everyone identify themselves. Ms. Tennant, do you know their telephone number?
I do, yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and give me that?
Okay, just 1 second. It is 517-936-9606.
Oh, okay, we finally got an audio connection. Mr. Cooper and Ms. Armstrong, you can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Can I have everyone else identify themselves for the record?
Matt Way, Prosecutor's Office.
Beth Tennant with Family Service and Children's Aid.
And Hotchkiss on behalf of Jason Cooper, father.
Ivan Brown on behalf of Armstrong.
Mike Kelly, guardian ad litem.
So, Mr. Kelly, how are Liam and Lana doing?
Liam is, talk to placement. Liam is working with early on with his communication. Otherwise, he's doing well. Likes to play outside, play in the water. Sounds like a busy little guy. Lana is doing well. She's gaining weight. There's possible concerns with her being overweight. I understand she's about 18 pounds, but she's sleeping through the night. Both kids are sleeping through the night, so that's good. Placement has indicated to me she's advised the parents regarding their feeding schedules. And it sounds like from the way it is, Lana is fed either just before or her schedule is coinciding to where she's almost getting double feeding. So when she comes to the visits and the parents want to feed her, I don't want to say she's being overfed, but there's a possible concern with her amount of weight gain that made for this week to address it. And I think the parents will be participating. But perhaps on that end, if placement and the caseworker and the parents could work together on that feeding schedule, because I know that's an important part of having kids and bonding with the kids. And I'm sure the parents would like to feed Lana during their visits. Maybe that can be coordinated with the parents and placement so that can occur. Concerns about Lana being overweight. Otherwise, I've reviewed the report. I have no objection to the recommendations, Your Honor. I would request at the next report period that we get some sort of an actual report from Dr. Mullen who's working with the parents. I know there's an excerpt in the report about their participation and how they're doing, but it would be nice to actually get something from that person. So we have a better understanding of what they're accomplishing. Thank you.
Ms. Tennant, do you have anything to add to your report?
I do. I did find out on Sunday that Dr. Mulderry is actually retired. So they will be unable to do those psychological evaluations. She did give me information for a Dr. Richard Rickman, who should be able to do those evaluations. So I will contact him today and try to get a referral sent over so that we can get those going. That's my only update though.
And council, any objection to the recommendations?
Just briefly, Judge.
Go ahead.
I didn't want to use Todd because he was first. But anyway, as the report indicates, my client is doing very well. The only thing that we have an objection to with regard to the report, it indicates that my client has missed 3 screens. That is accurate, but the whole story is not being told. She was switched from one agency to another, Adam, during the pandemic or continuing pandemic, and she wasn't aware or didn't know how to go about with this other company, Adam. So I guess it's not fair. We just want the whole story to be told. She's been religious about going to her screens. She hasn't dropped dirty for any illegal substances. She's completed parenting classes, counseling, done everything that's been asked of her. We have known, I don't know whether it was publicized, but we have known that Dr. Mulderry and Mrs. Mulderry have been retired for months. I guess this wasn't communicated to all the agencies, which it should have been. So this isn't my client's fault for the delay in and I'm not placing blame on Miss Tennant either. She didn't know, and without a memo, wouldn't be presumed to know. But we're asking, they're asking for discretion to go to unsupervised. We're asking that we actually do unsupervised. I think the parents have done enough to have some unsupervised parenting time without just discretion. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr.
Your Honor.
Hotchkiss?
Honor, thank you. On behalf of Mr. Cooper, I have had an opportunity to review the report, and I would echo many of the same comments made by Mr. Brown. I think if the court's reviewed the report, it can see that Jason has fully cooperated, is making good progress, and has pretty much done everything that the agency has asked of him. I think that Jason and the mother, in fact, should have unsupervised visits and more frequent visits. These are, pretty young children, and I think that it's important for the bonding. Again, they're doing pretty much everything that they've been asked for, and I would ask the court not to penalize them for the fact that they've not had their psychological evaluation done for many of the reasons Mr. Brown stated. But in all honesty, I don't know what else they could be doing, frankly. So I would ask that the court allow them to move to unsupervised visits and with more frequency. Thank you.
So Ms. Tennant, if I were simply to grant discretion for unsupervised visits as you request, what would you expect to see before you would exercise that discretion to grant them unsupervised visits?
Your Honor, the biggest thing is we would just want those psychologicals back to know that there aren't any major recommendations that we aren't servicing them with. I do understand that it's not their fault that the psychological evaluations haven't been completed yet. So I do understand we're in a bit of a pickle there. We have given them additional supervised parenting time to try and bridge that gap a little bit, but that's really what the agency would be looking for, is just getting those recommendations back from the psych evals to make sure before we move forward, especially considering mental health was a concern when these children came into care. So The agency's position is just kind of wanting to make sure that we are covering all of our bases service-wise before moving forward.
If I could respond,
Go ahead.
Judge, and I understand Ms. Tennant's mindset, because that's typically what agencies do, but there was never any physical harm that the children were in. This was just some mental health issues and some substance abuse issues. The children were never harmed. I don't think some short, unsupervised parenting time in the park or something with some safeguards is going to put the children in any harm's way. We all know that psychological evaluations can take months to even schedule, and then months to get the report back. And then if there's any concerns in the report, then we have more months. I don't think the children are in any harm's way with some unsupervised parenting time. Thank you.
So, Ms. Tennant, have you even identified a psychologist who would be willing to do a psych eval for these folks?
Your Honor, if I may speak and cut in on Ms. Tennant in the court, I apologize. This is Jason Cooper, father of Leon and Lena. We actually have a psychologist that we contact once a month with counseling. She actually is willing to do that and has actually tried to contact Ms. Tennant with no luck to actually do that. So I don't know if maybe that's something we can do as well.
Who is that?
Her name, Christine Sebring. She is out of the office of Dr. Mullen, which we have been seeing, for 10 months or so. Christine Sebring. And maybe give Ms. Tennant, if we'd like to go that route, at least the phone number to maybe contact her and see what we can do from there, maybe.
Yeah, the issue with a psychological evaluation is that it has to be someone who's under contract with the agency before they can engage them and pay them.
Yes, sir.
So I understand that problem. I'm assuming Dr. Sebring is not under contract. Ms. Tennant, do you know?
No, not to my knowledge, she's not.
So, but Mr. Cooper does raise a good point. If these folks are being seen, have been seen, even though you're waiting on getting a psychological scheduled with someone who is under contract, can you, with appropriate releases, can you speak to that psychologist?
Yes.
And allay whatever concerns exist in the file? And I do see that the petition includes some domestic violence. That's always concerning to the court.
No, it doesn't.
We've never had any issues with violence, actually, Your Honor. Sorry to cut in.
Well, give me just a second. I wrote something down, and I don't normally do that unless I see it in the petition.
Sure. Well, Your Honor, if I may speak a little more on that. The incidents where she was charged with domestic was an issue with another mother, mother of my child, who actually was harassing Miss Armstrong. And unfortunately, the day that happened, everybody got into some things, and the mother of my older daughter and Miss Armstrong got into it. Actually, Miss Armstrong had tried to place a personal protection order on the mother of my other child. It didn't go. So when the officers showed up, they arrested her, falsely arrested her on domestic charges that were dropped because there was no.
I do see in the petition that it was not domestic violence between the two of you. So that is somewhat reassuring, but in any event, sure. I am going to grant discretion for unsupervised, but Ms. Tennant, I wouldn't expect you to wait until you find a psychologist, get it set up. I mean, we could easily be into the next reporting period before that's going to happen. I don't want to penalize these folks for that, but if you can get enough assurance from an appropriate release, speak to the psychologists they've identified and reach a comfort level for yourself, I would expect you to exercise the discretion and grant some unsupervised parenting time.
Okay.
Okay, so we are set for, well, our next review hearing rather will be on October 27th at 8:45. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a good day, folks.
You too.
And that's our every Tuesday, Judge.
How do we?
Yes. Okay, Adcock and Grayson minors.
I don't expect my client to be in the waiting room.
Ms. Traver is there. I just let her in. Let me see. Okay, I've got D's iPhone. Any idea who D is?
Probably Lafitte.
Oh, okay. And I've got a foster parent, but it just says foster parent. I have no idea who that might be. Ms. Traver, do you know if a foster parent had expressed a desire to participate in this hearing today?
Not for my case, no.
Okay. All right. Could each of you please identify yourselves for the record?
Matt Wade, Prosecutor's Office.
Nicole Traver, DHS.
Rebecca McCluskey for Brianna Parisu.
Ivan Brown for Dakota Grayson, father.
Mike Kelly, guardian ad litem.
I believe Mom is in jail and I requested her.
Let's, what's the number for, I should write that down. For, that we call at the jail to get people.
It's either 8.
Booking is
7912.
7912.
Yeah, I requested her. I just rechecked the jail list.
What's her name?
Okay, deputy number 10.
Good morning. This is Judge LaFlamme.
Hi.
We're looking for
Brianna
What's
Parisu, Your Honor.
Ms.
Brianna
Parisu,
Okay,
for a court hearing.
okay.
Here it is. Yeah, Brianna Parisu. Is she available?
She is. Is she the only one you need right now?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
You're going to have her dial in?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. So while we're waiting for Mom, I think you did already identify yourselves, pardon me.
I didn't get who was for Dad, Judge.
Ivan represents one of the dads,
Dakota Grayson.
Mr. Grayson. And the other dad is not a respondent, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Check the waiting room again and see if anybody else is in there. All right, so we're just waiting for Mom to connect through the Polycom. As soon as she gets on board, we'll move forward with the hearing. Well, this is a lot like watching paint dry. Who wants to regale us with an interesting story?
Ivan's always got plenty of those.
But they're appropriate for
Talk about your old wild days, Ivan.
They're not YouTube appropriate.
They're not PG.
That's true.
Let me double check. I don't know it off the top of my head.
Hey, Rebecca, why don't you tell the judge about the time you fell in your pool?
But my Polycom is working.
Oh, that was a good one. I almost did it again the other day.
Oh.
Well, yeah, you got to dial into Zoom. Let me find my Zoom instructions and verify. I thought I had it set right here. Yeah, here we go. No, that's not. That's Polycom. All right. Oh, hold on. Let me. It's on my webpage. So it'll take me a second to pull it up. All right, we're having trouble connecting with the jail's Polycom. Let me. Okay, my meeting ID is 929-993-7935. Okay, thanks. I'm going to try to print this out, Peter. The last time I tried to print something, it didn't come through. Could you go see if it's on the printer?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Am I interrupting?
We're waiting to get a connection with the jail. Here we go. We got it.
I have an order for an AWOL youth to be put into lien.
Yeah, you bring it up.
Okay, and Judge Rackley isn't here this week?
No, I'll sign that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got our jail connection. Now we're just waiting on the mother to be brought into the room.
I think it was dated for yesterday, so that may be the only change we have to make. Is that the entry of order date?
7/27.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Judge, it doesn't seem.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to reboot this computer for whatever reason. Could you, so I don't forget, go on my website, go to the Jackson County website and you can navigate your way to my page.
Sure.
And then once you get to my page, at the bottom left side, there's Zoom instructions.
Okay.
See if you can print it out. I want a copy of that on the bench so I don't have to keep looking for it every time we run into a problem. Okay, looks like Ms. Perizzo is here. Ma'am, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right, so let's see, Mr. Kelly, how's Aaliyah and Rhythm doing?
With placement, Rhythm is just a busy kid, growing each day. There's no concerns whatsoever by them. I did not get a hold of Dad for the Adcock minor because for whatever reason doesn't answer his phone and there's no voicemail set up. So I was unsuccessful in checking in on that minor. However, I have reviewed the court report and I have no objection to the recommendation. I was advised, though, that there might be another charge sitting out there for mom to be sentenced on. Is that accurate, or is she expected to be released on her current date that we know of?
Can you shed any light on that, Mr. Way?
He's muted.
I'm looking right now. Looks like there is a open retail fraud file. There's a pretrial August 17th. I imagine though that would get resolved and probably her sentence would be included with what she's already done. That's typically how things are done.
Ms. Traver, do you have any updates for the court?
I do not.
Mr. Brown, do you have a position on the recommendations?
No, I've had no contact with my client. I cannot reach him, as the caseworker cannot either, so I would have no comment.
Ms. McCluskey?
Your Honor, I have no comment on the recommendations. Obviously, I haven't had any contact with my client due to the incarceration, but they appear to be pretty standard. So.
Yes. There being no objection, I will implement the recommendations. We'll set our next review hearing for October 20 at 8:45. Anything else the court needs to address this morning?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good, thank you. Okay, that concludes this hearing. Okay, next up is Derice Lafitte. Let's see. We'll let Ms. Hukel in. And I think somebody told me that Dee's iPhone is one of the parents. Okay, we've got a connection. What is your name, ma'am? You're on the iPhone. It says Dee's iPhone. What is your name?
Diamond Green. Can you guys hear me?
We can, thank you.
It's the mother, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay, can I have everyone else? Well, let me ask. I've got a foster parent in the waiting room. Ms. Huckel, are you expecting a foster parent on this file?
She is Derice's foster mom.
Oh, okay, then I'll let her in. Okay, I think that's everyone. So could I have each of you identify yourselves for the record?
Matt Wade, Prosecutor's Office.
Mike Kelly on behalf of the mother.
Ivan Brown on behalf of Derice Lafitte, Senior, father.
Rebecca McCluskey, guardian ad litem.
Kylie Huckel, Child and Family Charities.
Okay, Ms. McCluskey, how is Derice doing?
Your Honor, I realized I didn't have contact info for placement, and I just received that, so I wasn't able to make contact. I have reviewed the report, and at this time, I'm in agreement with the recommendations. Thank you.
Since we have the foster parent present, and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Morgan and Joanna Englehart.
How is Derice doing?
Excellent, excellent. We recently got him started in physical therapy. He's making leaps and bounds with that. His health, we finally got in touch with pretty amazing specialists that have got him going in the right direction. So he is catching up developmentally and has bonded with his biological sister and his foster sisters.
That's good news. Thank you. Ms. Huckel, do you have any updates for the court to your report?
To my report, no, not at this. Well, for Dad, I actually did have a phone call with him yesterday. He finally reached out to me, but other than that, I don't have any other information.
Counsel, what is your position on the recommendations?
Your Honor, I have no objection, or I should say no comment on the recommendations. I called Miss Green the other day and left a message. Unfortunately, didn't hear back from her. Hopefully, we'll have a better report period time around. Thank you.
Judge, I've had no contact with my client over this reporting period, so I would offer no comment on the recommendations. I would ask Ms. Huckel, I did not receive a report this period. I had to reach out to Mr. Wade to receive it. I'm just wondering, can you put me on your list so the next time I receive the report? I would appreciate it.
Can I get your email for that?
IVAN BROWN @ acd.net.
acd.net?
Apple Cat Dog, ACD.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, there being no objections, I will implement the recommendations. We'll set our next review hearing for October 20 at 8:45. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
We're early. When's the next case? 10?
9:45.
9:45?
Do not have a docket up there.
I do. Post terms. Well, and we don't have Mr. Williams yet. All right, we're a little early now.
If you want to do Van Horn, you can. I spoke to the boys yesterday. They're not going to participate. It's a post term. if we have the caseworker.
Let me look. Ms. Cowling, yes, we'll bring her in. Okay, this is a matter of the Van Horn minors. Could each of you please identify yourselves for the record?
Lindsay Cooling, DHHS.
Mike Kelly, guardian ad litem.
Mr. Kelly, you'd indicated the boys were not planning to participate this morning. How are they doing?
I spoke with Caleb. He's doing well. They're both, him and Kyle are both working. Kyle was sleeping at the time that I called him. It was in the morning. Caleb's getting ready for his baby to come, making preparations with supplies. Possibly going to learn the sex of the child when they can. Otherwise, he seems to be excited about that. He still would like his case to close when he turns 19. I've reviewed the report. I have no concerns. Oddly enough, they seem to be doing better compared to when they were before this court in various placements, which is good. I hope they continue down that path. I have no objection to the goal of AFLA for either one of them. I think it's appropriate at this time. Thank you.
Ms. Cooling, do you have any updates for the court?
I do not have any updates. I just wanted to comment for Mr. Kelly. The boys are doing phenomenal in their IL placement. I have worked with these boys for quite some time, and I've never seen them flourish quite like this. So I just want to let you know that they are doing very well and that the agency is very proud of how far they have come. And, you know, Caleb is expecting a baby. However, he did graduate this year, and he's having his graduation ceremony in August. Kyle is doing just as great and has a part-time job right now, which is really hard during COVID-19. So I definitely just want to show how well they're doing.
And I definitely gleaned from your report, Ms. Cooling, that the boys are doing well, and it's good to have you affirm that. They've been obviously under the court's jurisdiction for some time, and it's really good to see them growing up and making good progress towards true independence. So I will implement the recommendations. We'll set our next review hearing for October 27 at 9:45.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. I know we're a little early. Are we expecting anyone else in Tyona Rodriguez's case? Ms. Kendra, do you know?
No, there shouldn't be anyone else.
Okay, then it looks like we've got everyone here. Can I have that one, Chin? Okay, could you each identify yourselves for the record?
Tanya Kendra, Family Service and Children's Aid Adoption Worker.
Rebecca McCluskey, guardian ad litem.
Ms. McCluskey, how is Tyona doing?
She's great. I've said it 100 times. This placement has placement of a couple of our children at this point, and she's wonderful. Tayana's adjusted really well to this house. I know there's a competing party involved at this point. Those are always a little frustrating because, excuse me, it delays the process, but the competing party is the previous placement who was also a really good placement. So just a sad situation. But Tayana's doing really well. I have no concerns and no objection to the recommendations or the ultimate goal of adoption. Thank you.
Ms. Kendra, do you have anything to add to your report?
I do not.
What are we looking at as a realistic date for finalization?
We have to wait the 56 days from when you sign the placement orders. So I believe it's like next month, at the end of next month. So
Oh, well, that would be encouraging to see that happen. I will set another review hearing for October 20 at 9:45. If we're able to finalize before then, obviously there'll be no need to appear. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Here's Mr. Williams. Let's see. That's Brooks. We're still a couple minutes early, but let's see if we've got everyone here for Mason Brooks. Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Morning, Your Honor.
And Ms. Mattinson, let me get her in the room. Good morning, Ms. Mattinson. Are you expecting anyone else to appear this morning in Mason Brooks? We're just a couple minutes early for the hearing. And you are muted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. What did you say?
Are you expecting anyone else to appear this morning in the Mason Brooks file?
No, we do not have an adoption worker as of yet.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Williams, you're LGAL. How is Mason doing?
He's doing very well, Your Honor. Of course, he's been with Miss Pinches for quite some time. He's having a great summer, spending a lot of time out on the pontoon boat, doing a lot of fishing. I just had a big birthday party for him yesterday. Had a great time. Very bonded to Miss Pinches, just doing really well.
Well, that's good to hear. And Ms. Mattinson, do you have anything to add to your report?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay, I will implement the recommendations. We'll set our next review hearing for October 20 at 9:45. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we are on time for Jordan Walker. Could each of you identify yourselves for the record?
Tanya Kendra, Family Service and Children's Aid adoption worker.
Vice
Ivan-
Henry, DHS.
Sorry, Ivan Brown, LGAL.
Mr. Brown, how's Jordan doing?
I just spoke with Ms. Schaefer this morning. Jordan's continuing to do well in her placement. This is a relative placement. I've been to their home many times prior to the pandemic. Nothing's changed. We're hoping that the adoption can be finalized as reported in the report in September. And my client or the foster parent relative is requesting the quickest available means to have that done, if it's by Zoom or however the quickest means to have that done.
We've done a lot of Zoom adoptions and it works out pretty well. But just get with Tara Lynn. We're happy to accommodate however they want to proceed.
Thank you.
Ms. Henry or Ms. Kendra, do either of you have anything to add?
I do not.
I do not.
Very well. We will set another post-term hearing for October 20 at 9:45 if necessary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Okay, looks like we're done until 10. So I'm going to leave the meeting room open, but I'm going to close the live stream and we'll go off the record and then I'll come back out at 10 o'clock.
Thank you.